What do you see? Dominoes, a drawing for a ready-to-be-built architecture project. I want you to look from a different filter now, a different lens. Top, a butterfly, below, a caterpillar. Where's the cocoon then? In our daily lives, we tend to like butterflies. We're aware of caterpillars as well. We try to avoid stepping on them. But how much do we care about the cocoon? The isolated transformation from a caterpillar to the butterfly. Today I'm going to talk about what happened between these two images, a modest cocoon from my own life. When I was a child, I was very impatient, passive-aggressive, and a little bit hyperactive. Toys like dominoes would irritate me a lot because you would have to put a lot of effort just to see them colliding for a couple of seconds. And there was no surprise about it either. You knew that they were going to collapse. That's it. So from that child's perspective, it was such a waste of time. But years passed, I changed. I grew up. And the way I look at the world changed as well. And the effort was replaced by values. As first year of architecture students, we were asked to design a frame and a canopy. In human terms, that means a structure and a roof to be held by that structure. So as you see, the brief suggests that there have to be two different things. But I like the challenge. I said, I'm going to design one thing which can be both or either at the same time. So the answer was my evil enemy from my childhood, the dominoes. But the answer was not the end, it was only the start, because it was the end. It would be something like this, an attempt to break the Guinness World Record, but that wasn't the thing I'm trying to do. So how do you avoid that? I mean, you of course have to study the dominoes itself, because that's the core, right? But if you just do this, the dominoes, then you might end up like the previous photo, just having huge dominoes. So what else do? You just let things flow in, because you have other interests. You have other love and hate relationships. Like biology, the only class I had to cheat in high school. But there's this interesting thing about ribs. It's almost an architecture. It covers the organs. It expands and contracts. So bingo, that was the second answer. Why am I doing a huge domino just for the sake of domino? I can just get the mechanism and leave the rest and get the chest as a form, but that wasn't enough either. My favorite movie, The Prestige, suggested maybe architecture could be like a magic trick. Maybe there are some bits, some mechanisms about it that the poor observers don't really see. They only experience, but only the architect knows. So this drawing shows the mechanism underneath that allows this frozen moment when you collapse the building and pull it back, but you don't see that in real life. At the end, we have this pavilion, which can react to both environmental conditions, a strong environmental weather like rain, snow, or strong sun. You just push it, perhaps not like the guy in the previous drawing, but maybe with your hand. In a nice weather, you pull it back and you enjoy the wind blowing in, but that's not the point. I'm sure there are other projects that challenges frame and canopy. I know that bioarchitecture takes biology into architecture in much more depth. And this is not the ultimate magic trick either. Also, mundane is mundane. It is mundane. But it's what you do with it and how you see it, that's the interesting bit. It's not about dominoes, but it's about the cocoon, the between. I want you to go back to your lives and look at the things you've given up before. Look at the mundane things and see what you can do with them, because that's going to define you much more than saying, for example, I'm an architect. This is what I do. The weird interconnection between Michael Caine, ribs, dominoes solely belong to me. What does solely belong to you? Value the mundane. Thank you.